evening. You're now with me, Handy for TVS Nightline, and here are the headlines for tonight. Japan earthquake death toll rises to 168, over 300 missing. Bintulu port to be handed over to Sarawak in June. And Prime Minister's senior political secretary lodges police report on Dubai move. The number of people unaccounted for after Japan's New Year's Day earthquake more than tripled on Monday to 323, while the death toll rose to 168. A new list published by Ishikawa Prefecture in central Japan on Monday showed the number of missing people soaring from 31 to 281 in Wajima, one of the worst hit places.
The shockwaves toppled buildings, sparked a major fire, and triggered tsunami waves over a meter high. Thousands of rescuers have been drafted in from all over Japan, their work complicated by roads being cut off by the quake and an estimated 1,000 landslides. In the last 2 days, the region has been blanketed in snow, making the operation harder still. The colder weather is also likely to worsen conditions for more than 28,800 people in 404 government shelters. The regional government warned that continuous rain has increased the risk of fresh landslides, while heavy snow could cause more buildings to collapse under its weight. At least 2,000 people in many communities on the remote peninsula have been cut off by damaged roads, with some of an estimated 1,000 landslides also blocking 8 vehicles. That means relief materials have been slow to reach areas suffering water and power outages. Around 20,700 households in the wider Ishikawa region remained without electricity on Sunday. More than 66,100 households were also without water.
Bintulu port is scheduled for an official handover to the Sarawak government in June 2024. And Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Omar Douglas Ugah Mbas said the agreement came to fruition at the Federal State Joint Committee meeting with Transport Minister Anthony Locke, which was held today. In a joint statement, the Ministry of Transport will present the bill to repeal the Bintulu Port Authority Act 1981 in the upcoming Parliament sitting. Ugah, who is also Minister for Infrastructure and Port Development Sarawak, said the Sarawak government will establish the Bintulu Port Authority Sarawak under the Port Authority Ordinance 1961 to ensure that the operation of Bintulu Port is not affected during the transition period. Additionally, a Memorandum of Understanding MOU will be signed in February 2024 to finalize the Bintulu Port handover. Senior Political Secretary to the Prime Minister, Dato' Sri Shamsul Iskandar Muhammad Akin, has lodged a police report urging an investigation into the Dubai move purportedly aimed at toppling the government led by Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim. He added that the report serves as a clear signal to the parties involved, urging them to cease their futile endeavours, as such actions not only disrupt the parliamentary democracy system but also contribute to political instability in the country.
He stated this when speaking to the media after lodging the report at the Putrajaya District Police Headquarters (IPD) on Monday. When asked about the legitimacy of the movement, Shamsul, who is also the chairman of the Council of Political Secretaries of the Madani government, said that he will leave the matter to the police to conduct the investigation in compliance with prevailing laws. Putrajaya District Police Chief ACP A. Asmadi Abdul Aziz verified the receipt of the report and assured that they would initiate an investigation into the matter. On December 30th, it was reported that Dato Ismail Yusof, Deputy Director General of the Community Communications Department JCOM, claimed that the Dubai move started when some opposition leaders and government figures were on vacation in the United Arab Emirates, UAE.
Now, the Digital Ministry will work closely with the Sarawak government to facilitate the national digital transformation process. As the new minister in charge of steering the ministry, Gobind Singh Dio emphasized that the close collaboration and views between the federal and state government levels are essential for kicking off the digital transformation process.
From the discussions I had earlier, so a very clear direction of macam mana kita nak pastikan bahawa negara ataupun negeri Sarawak ini tidak tertinggal dari sudut pendigitalan dan bergerak ke depan.
He told this to reporters after paying a courtesy call to the Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg at Wisma Bapa Malaysia on Monday. During the call, Gobind and the Premier exchanged views on Sarawak's goals and challenges in facing the digital world in line with the post-COVID-19 development strategy PCDS 2030. Meanwhile, Gobind revealed that his ministry will hold a meeting with all the state governments to gather feedback on the development of the digital sector in their respective states, ensuring that there are no gaps in adapting to the digital direction which will be later introduced. He reiterated that the purpose of the meeting was to ensure that the existing digital sector in all the states is in tandem with the ministry's upcoming direction.
Apabila kita meluahkan Kementerian Digital dalam the first quarter of this year, maka kita boleh juga pastikan bahawa ahli tuju kita itu mengambil kira apa yang disebut sebagai ahli tuju atau plan-plan negeri-negeri di seluruh negara. So itu sebab kita datang hari ini dan kita akan teruskan dengan lawatan kepada setiap negeri untuk mendapat pandangan dan kita harap bahawa dalam 3-4 bulan yang akan datang kita dapat membuat sebagai announcement, kita boleh umumkan satu hala tuju untuk Kementerian Digital yang selari dengan apa yang kita lihat sebagai hala tuju negeri-negeri masing-masing.
Sarawak should emulate Australian Institute of Sports AIS to nurture local athletes and enhance medal achievements in various sporting events through the establishment of its own sport institute. Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Amar Dr. Sim Kui Hian, on his Facebook page said the institute has professional staff with extensive expertise in the field of sports science and sports medicine.
Sim highlights that despite Australia having a smaller population than Malaysia, Australia has achieved numerous medals, particularly in Olympic sports. He emphasized that Sarawak athletes, not from national sports schools, have secured many sports medals compared to other states in Malaysia. Sim further urges increased involvement of Bumiputra athletes in basketball, emphasizing its significance for the development of sports in Sarawak.
Now, Bintulu is gearing up to launch a craft gallery dedicated to showcasing Loy-crafted items and food products created by its residents. Minister of Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development, Dato' Sri Fatima Abdullah, said the gallery will also serve as a central exhibition hub for tourism activities.
There is also a workshop where bila ada orang datang ke tempat dia, this is where nanti bersama dengan sidak turis group there will be a live demonstration. Macam ni mula linut misalnya. Macam ni cara makannya. So a small cafe will be also dimasukkan di dalam plan tadi.
Meanwhile, she pointed out that the planning is ready for implementation, considering that the location of the gallery has been identified, which is the old library building of the Bintulu Development Authority BDA on Jalan Kepel.
So all the components are all there. So meantime nanti the Bintulu Women Action Group will in the interim periods sementara menunggu pengubahsuaian ini selesai then to get the orang yang akan masuk ke dalam tu kelak and we must, as I said just now, ada peraturannya, ada syarat-syaratnya so that ianya bukan sesuatu yang sekejap ada sekejap tiada. No, we want it to be something that Bintulu people can be proud of also, okay? Sebagai satu tempat yang a must visit place untuk mendapat produk dan juga untuk melihat hasil kerajinan tangan wanita-wanita di Bintulu.
She told this to reporters after paying a courtesy call to the BDA Chief Executive Officer Datu Muhammad Yaakob Kari today.
Sarawak expands early childhood education opportunities with the opening of 7 new kindergartens and 4 childcare centres this year. Minister of Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development, Dr. Sri Fatima Abdullah, said the addition of Tadika Siddiq BDA in Bintulu is among the new kindergarten slated to commence operations this year.
In order to realize our target, iaitu continuous access to early childhood education in Sarawak ni, jadi kita tahun ini ada 7 buah tadika dan 4 buah taska baharu yang beroperasi pada tahun 2024.
At the same time, she assures that her ministry and the One-Stop Early Intervention Centre, or SEIC, will continue efforts to train teachers and caregivers to enhance knowledge and skills in educating children with special needs.
Setiap anak Sarawak, tidak kira sama ada mereka ini memerlukan special needs ini, special assistance atau kanak-kanak biasa, mereka adalah they are welcome. So that is one thing that we have started, open door policy. Special needs children are welcome to TASCA.
She told this to reporters after handing over the Minor Rural Project MRP grant checks to the Bintulu Childcare and Early Childhood Educators Association, or PAKB, at TASCA Permata Kasih, Taman Lihua, Bintulu today.
Sarawak Ministry of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts (MTCP) aims to boost business events on the global stage. Its Minister, Dr. Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, will lead a delegation of 29 industry partners to the Professional Convention Management Association (PCMA) Convening Leaders 2024 in San Diego, California this upcoming Sunday to explore opportunities and promote Sarawak on the international stage.
Karim, in a statement, said the convention, themed Think Bigger, can enhance Sarawak's position as a business events destination. The delegation is scheduled to meet the PCMA leadership team to explore future collaboration. PCMA's mission is in line with Sarawak's commitment in driving economic and social progress through business events. Meanwhile, Business Events Sarawak Chief Executive Officer Amelia Roziman described the convention as a great opportunity to learn from other regions, such as North America, and driving the impact of heritage from their business events. Highlighting this year's convention is powerful conversation of global political power duo Bill and Hillary Clinton, who will be discussing on inspiring exploration of leadership, international relations, the global economy, and the importance of meetings and events for the free exchange of ideas and democracy.
Coming up right after the break, Najib wants Man on the Run removed from Netflix. Saudi approved 31,600 Hajj quota for Malaysia. Right here on TVS Nightline. Stay tuned. Hello there and welcome back. Now, all ministries, departments and agencies have been instructed to provide monthly reports detailing the advancement and contributions of public servants in the execution of government projects. And Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim underscores that the Secretaries General of Ministries and Department Heads must submit these reports to Chief Secretary to the Government, Tan Sri Zuki Ali, for thorough review.
Dalam surat jawatankuasa Kabinet yang turut difungsikan oleh Datuk Seri Fadilah, semuanya akan mencadangkan, minta peruntukan, tambah projek, yang memang dibolehkan. Tetapi ada kaedah baru kita nak perkenalkan. Ya. Mesti ada laporan bulanan. Apa yang dilakukan, apakah sumbangan saudara untuk melaksana, dalam usaha melaksanakan projek itu.
During his speech at the monthly assembly of the Prime Minister's department, he mentioned that the good policies of the previous administration would continue, but through new approaches and methods to prevent the misuse of power. Anwar clarified that clear monthly progress reports using the new method introduced this year would assist the government in developing an inclusive economy.
The former Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak has demanded the prosecution team in his One Malaysia Development Berhad 1MDB trial to promptly take decisive action against the Man on the Run documentary on the streaming service Netflix. Najib contends that the documentary is flagrantly insulting, posing a direct affront to his integrity of his ongoing case.
Najib's defense counsel, Tan Sri Muhammad Shafi Abdullah, told the presiding judge, Datuk Colin Lawrence Sekira, that the 1 hour and 38-minute documentary flagrantly undermined his client's case and asserted that they were unequivocally obligated to take swift and decisive action on the matter. Man on the Run, directed, written and produced by Cassius Michael Kim, delves into the 1MDB scandal, released in Malaysia on October 19th last year and premiered on Netflix last Friday, January 5th. The documentary includes a nearly 10-minute interview with Najib, during which he vehemently denies any involvement in the scandal. Shafi further condemned the remarks made by various interviewees in the documentary, including critics of Sarawak Report editor Claire Rucastle-Brown and former United States Ambassador to Malaysia, John Malott. He continued by saying that he would write to relevant authorities to have the documentary taken down as soon as possible. Najib is currently facing 4 charges related to allegations of exploiting his position to receive bribes totaling 2.3 billion ringgit from 1MDB. Additionally, he is confronted with 21 charges of money laundering, all tied to the same substantial amount.
As of January 7th, the PADU Central Database Hub system has garnered positive feedback with a total of 798,528 individuals having enrolled in the system. The Department of Statistics Malaysia DOSM stated on social media X that 3 states, namely Selangor, Johor and Sarawak, have recorded the most people registered with PADU. For those who haven't registered yet, the public registration for PADU is available from January 2nd to March 31st. And during this period, the public has the opportunity to update and verify 30 personal details, which include information such as ID card number, household number, and residential address. The system aims to enhance the efficiency of policy planning and resource allocation, with a particular focus on the targeted distribution of government subsidies and assistance to individuals deserving of support. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has officially set a pilgrimage quota of 31,600 individuals for Malaysian Hajj pilgrims during this year's pilgrimage season. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Religious Affairs, Datuk Dr. Muhammad Naim Mokhtar, conveyed this information after being informed by the Saudi Minister of Hajj and Umrah, Dr. Taufik Fauzan Al Rabiah.
He stated this after a meeting held in conjunction with the signing ceremony of the Memorandum of Hajj Affairs 1445 Hijrah/2024 in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Naim stated that discussions also encompass matters related to Mashair affairs, including transportation for Hajj pilgrims and officials, as well as preparations for managing the health aspects of the pilgrims. Naim is currently in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, participating in the 2024 Hajj and Umrah conference organized by the Saudi Ministry of Hajj and Umrah.
Coming up next, inter-Korean buffer zones nullified following Pyongyang's artillery drills. Plus more world news on TVS Nightline after the break. North Korea's recent live fire drills near the western maritime border have nullified buffer zones established under a 2018 agreement, raising the risk of clashes. Around 350 rounds of artillery shells were fired into the waters of the North Korea's west coast last week, the first such drills near the sea border since December of 2022. The drills targeted South Korea's Yongyong and Byongyong islands, prompting a response from South Korea's army and residents seeking shelter.
The head of public affairs for the Joint Chiefs of Staff, JCS, Colonel Lee Sung-jun, states that North Korea's action in the Yellow Sea for the past 3 consecutive days have effectively nullified the ban on the buffer zones.
이는 지난 2023년 11월 23일 북한이 일방적으로 9.19 군사합의 파기를 주장한 이후 서해 완충구역 내 포병 사격을 재개한 것으로 한반도 평화를 위협하고 긴장을 고조시키는 도발 행위입니다. 우리 군은 긴밀한 한미 공조하에 관련 동향을 추적 감시하고 있으며 북한의 도발에 상응하는 조치를 시행할 것입니다.
Under the agreement, both Seoul and Pyongyang must not fire any artilleries or conduct any large-scale drills in the sea near the northern limit line NLL and border area within 5 kilometers on each side of the military demarcation line to prevent accidental clashes. In 2018, South Korea partially suspended the agreement in protest of North Korea's first spy satellite launch in late November of that year. And since then, North Korea has taken various measures to strengthen its borders, including rebuilding destroyed guard posts, deploying heavy arms in the demilitarized zones, installing mines in an area recognized for inter-Korean reconciliation and exchanges, and rearming soldiers in the Joint Security Area JSA. President of the University of North Korean Studies, Yang Mu-jin, suggests that the drills can be interpreted as North Korea's readiness to reinstate military measures paused under the agreement and assess Seoul's response. Kim Jong-un, the president of the communist country, has stepped up its military capabilities as there are no chance of unification due to continued hostility between the two Koreas. Analysts are expressing concerns over accidental clashes near the sea border this year, as Pyongyang may want to divert United States-U.S. attention to the Korean peninsula ahead of the U.S. presidential election in November.
Wrapping up the Nightline, Oppenheimer. pick up multiple key wins at the Golden Globe on Sunday, on a night billed as a celebration of Christopher Nolan's epic and its fellow summer smash hit, Barbie. Dubbed Barbenheimer after they were released on the same weekend and grossed a combined $2.4 billion. The two movies boasted 17 nominations between them at the Globes, which kick off Hollywood's awards season.
Oppenheimer, which tells the story of the inventor of the atomic bomb and has 8 nods, took Best Director for Nolan, as well as Lead Male Actor in a Drama for Cillian Murphy and Supporting Male Actor for Robert Downey Jr. Nolan won Best Director, fending off Greta Gerwig, who directed Barbie, the leading film heading into the night with 9 nominations. Barbie, which turned nostalgia for the beloved doll into a sharp satire about misogyny and female empowerment, is tipped to win Best Comedy Film and won the award for Best Song for a tune written by Billie Eilish. As the year's highest-grossing movie, it claimed a newly created trophy for box office achievement. But it surprisingly lost out on Best Screenplay to French courtroom drama Anatomy of a Fall. After winning the Best Non-English Language Film, she added, "The movie is about the truth, the impossibility of catching it." Among the other winners were Emma Stone as Best Comedy Actress for her no-holds-barred turn in surreal, sexy Bildungsroman Poor Things, and Davine Joy Randolph for her supporting role in prep school comedy The Holdovers. Meanwhile, Hayao Miyazaki won Best Animated Film for The Boy and the Heron.
Those were the updates on TVS Nightline. For more news, please be sure to visit and follow our social media at tvsarawak.my. I'm Handoveur. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.